All right, you got to check this video out. Even if it sounds kind of weird, just bear with me and watch it, because this technology is really cool. The ability to make your own panel, your own palette, your own custom palette inside of Photoshop is really, really neat. Now, the first thing you do is go to labs.adobe.com, and there's a little application on here that you can download. It's called Configurator. Okay, you download this Configurator application and you install it, and it's really easy. All you got to do is here's what you download. You double click on it. It goes through the installation process, and I've already got it here, so it's going to throw up an error. But just install the application and run it. Once you do that, you're going to get this Configurator application here, and I'm going to start over again. I'm just going to close this panel, not save it, and I'm going to go to File, New Panel. I'm going to make myself a brand new panel. This is what this is here. You can resize it, can make it any size you want, and then you can add things to it. So we start at the top here. We can add tools. Anything from your toolbar, you can make your own panel for. So you can forget the toolbox over on the left-hand side in Photoshop, and you can make your own. All right? Just use the tools that you use most and put them inside here. That's not what I use the most. I actually use commands, though, because now I can take things that I do all the time that I have to go to a menu for, and I can make my own palette with those menu items. So, for example, I'd go under here to the Layer menu. And if I expand the Layer menu, if I went to Layer, New, there's an option here to convert my background layer to a regular layer. Just this little background option here. Just drag it onto your panel, and it just puts a little button there for you, and you can move it around. Another option I use a lot here is Smart Objects. So I can go down to Smart Objects and choose the Convert to Smart Object option here and just drag that out onto my panel. And then this is probably one of my favorite parts about it, is I can go down to Actions and Scripts, drag the Action button out. All right, and now I can run an action that I have within Photoshop in this panel. So I don't have to go to the Actions palette to find it and click the little play icon. I can make a shortcut to it. So perfect example is I've got an action here inside of Photoshop that resizes images for my blog. And what it does is it duplicates the image, changes the image size, saves it as a JPEG, and then closes that duplicate and just leaves me back with whatever image I was looking at. All right, so I'm going to double click on this. I'm going to copy, because we have to copy the exact name. Go back over to Configurator, type that into the action option here, come back over here, get the action set, which is the folder, and copy that. Paste that into the action set option here, and now I've got a shortcut to that action. I can even rename the caption because I think action is kind of lame, but I can rename it to blog or resize for blog or whatever, and you'll see it changes there. So you can rename these things, you can move them around, you can change their size, you can line them up. And the last thing here is I'd probably change my panel name from Untitled to Matt's Panel, just like that. Now, once you're done and you've created your panel, you can go up to the File menu, go down to Export Panel, and you need to export this to the Photoshop CS4 plugin folder. Now, by default, mine knew right where it was, and this is what it opened. If it doesn't, let me show you really quick how to get to it. All right, you're going to go to your CS4 folder, your Photoshop CS4 folder. So if you're on the Mac, it's on the Applications folder. If you're on a PC, it's going to be in your Program Files. And go to the CS4 folder. Inside there is Plugins. Go into that folder. Inside there is Panels. Go into that folder. And that's where you store these things. All right, so you can see here, I already created a Matt's panel, but I could select this and save that panel inside here. Okay, now you've got to go and relaunch Photoshop at this point. When you relaunch Photoshop and you reopen Photoshop, go up to the Window menu, go down to Extensions, and you're going to see your panel listed inside there. Click on it, and it's going to open up the panel on the screen here. And then all you got to do is click on something. So remember, Layer menu down to New. There's that option there, Layer from Background. That's the one that I use a lot. All right, so instead of having to go up to the menu to do it, I can just click on that option here. It's the same exact thing. Same exact thing as if I went up to the Layer menu does. It runs the same code in the background. All right, if I want to convert this layer to a smart object, just click on it. converts it over to a smart object. You see it's got the little smart object icon here. And then the other one, which really is probably my favorite part of this, is the actions. I can put all my favorite actions right inside this panel that I have. And now when I want to resize this image for the blog, just click on it and go through and let it play the action. Okay, now take a look here. Go onto my desktop here, and not that desktop. Go into my actual desktop and take a look. There's the lesson 1 copy, and you can see I resized it. It's 400 by 266, so that'll fit on my blog. But the whole point is it's a shortcut to get to the things that you use the most. And it seems kind of techie at first, but when you think of the power that you have here to put all your favorite things inside of here, that's pretty darn cool. And there's one area I didn't show you. Oh, let me get it back into Configurator. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. You see these widgets? See the little movie icon down here? I can drag a movie player onto here, and I can put a URL into this URL field that points to Flash movies. Okay, so if somebody's got a tutorial website, then they post their movies in Flash, or there's some type of a movie website. If I have the URL, I can plug that in here, and I can watch Flash video right from within Photoshop. So some really neat stuff here. I definitely encourage you to play around with it, make your own panels, and put some of the common things that you use all the time in them, and it'll save you a lot of time in the end.